I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Kyuujin cosplay, and today we are back at you guys with Viking, episode 4, season 6, part 2.
Yes.
Or episode 14, season 6.
Yeah. Last episode we started the escape.
We, again, lost a daughter, guys.
Yes, we did lose a daughter.
Why?
It's sad. It's really sad because it was Björn's last living child and Torvi's third child she lost.
Third child, yeah.
Fucking hell. Accidents are prone to happen on a sea voyage like this. We did warn that bringing kids in a trip like that was not a good idea, but then, and it might be linked to the fact that we found out what's her name?
Ingrid?
Is a witch, and she made
she might be responsible for
Yeah.
that storm.
She did a sort of spell last episode in Björn's tomb. It was creepy as fuck, and then right after we jumped to Uba and everyone else, and there was a storm coming, and I was like, coincidence? Maybe, but then
not.
So yeah, what else? She is also, her and Gunnhild are campaigning to become the next queen of Kattegat.
Mm-hmm.
They were about to vote, and then Harold showed up and was like, bitches, I'm back!
I'm still your king.
Yeah. He's trying to say he changed. He's trying to, convince them that he's a better man and that he did not hate Björn, he loved him and he wants to be like him. So we'll see where that leads him. What else? He's also brought a guy who's supposed to support him, but then that guy also showed up and talked to Gunnhild about something, and we don't know what that is yet. So we'll see. Back in Kiev, you've got Vitzik and Ivar who fought. We figured out that Katya is a good girl. She's on the good side. And she's helping. So now we've got Ivar, Igor, Vitzik, and Katya trying to escape as everyone else is in front of the town, getting him, he's the new bishop, they said, right?
Bishop, yeah.
He showed up with the cross and stuff. There's a whole ceremony, so no one is really paying attention. But then Oleg figured out Igor wasn't there. So careful, guys. They're trying to escape.
They're trying to escape, and they need to hurry the heck up.
Yes. So, with that said, let's jump in this episode and see if the plan works.
Please, make it work.
Let's go. This is a prophet,
Something doesn't feel right.
Basically, his power is he has great instincts.
Find Igor.
I would have probably put the prince inside.
But no, because he figured out that there was an old man and a kid in the cart. So he needed to have a guy, an adult with a kid. Not to attract any attention, Putting his eggs in the basket that says no one ever pays attention to the guy that carries straw and shit, so...
Brothers, I offer myself up for you.
He's devoted too. Although Oleg seems like the kind of guy who would fucking do that to himself just for fun, Bye, bitch. It's funny that they managed to leave when he was, getting whipped. They're out. They're out.
They are finally out.
Go, go, go. Fucking run.
Gunnhild, I know people would have elected you. You would make a great queen. You and I and Björn, we belong together. We danced around each other. Our sagas are one and the same.
At least he's persistent with his flirting. He never really stopped.
You can't have Björn anymore. At least not as a warm body in your bed.
You can
But
have
you
me.
can have me as a warm body in your bed.
I'll be a replacement.
You
It's
can have
okay.
me,
I'll be your pillow.
and you can be queen of Kattegat.
He's asking.
I ask no humility, and I expect no immediate answer.
I like how he's doing it now. I think she considered it a little bit
At the beginning?
In the
Yeah,
beginning.
before she saw Bjorn, of course.
Make it fucking epic. Let's go. Now I don't feel so bad about my false assumptions in the first season because it actually happened.
I really love that shot.
It's a fucking great shot. It reminds me of season 1.
Is this it? Your golden land, Otse.
Whoa.
I mean, give yourself a chance. Like, it's pretty huge. Maybe it's not America yet, you know? You need to go further.
It seems, after all, that you were not alone in betraying me.
You reap what you sow.
He has become a custom among my wives. What have I done wrong?
I wonder.
Why has our Lord abandoned me and made me a figure of fun? A stupid cuckold. You were lucky. I spared you suffering. But I will not spare them.
Ouch.
They must suffer beyond suffering.
Jesus.
You can't.
The worst is he genuinely doesn't know what he did wrong. I almost pity him. What if he burns alive?
You can't! You can't! You are now women! All women!
It's a fucking cool scene though. This is why I like the Rust chapter.
As far as I can see, this is not the land I glimpsed all those years ago. How do I know where we are? I was not lying.
There was a storm, you could have
Possible motive would I have?
gone astray.
I thought the Kyuujin out there. Very well. This is not the golden land that we dreamed of, but it is still land. We as farmers, we know the value of land, huh? Especially if we don't have to pay for it. We should claim this land and establish a colony here. For it seems to me that God sent us here for a purpose.
Man, he's defending him.
Skogamore. Say. I know all about you. I know who and what you really are. And I'm sure no one else does. What is it you want? You trafficked slaves illegally. You killed people in futile property quarrels, not once, but twice, and you were expelled from 2 kingdoms. I've changed. It's a what? What is it you want? I have to appoint a new head of my bodyguard. This guy is ambitious. I'm not sure I trust him. I wondered if you would accept the position.
You really want to give this to a guy you just called out on all his bad
flaws,
deeds
yeah.
and stuff? A guy you can't trust?
What do you want?
I don't waste words. Harold's coronation is soon, and I don't trust him. And he doesn't trust you. So let's kill him and crown you instead. What do you say?
Brunhild isn't here.
Yes, my lord, I swear. This is the place. Gunhild is waiting.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust that. I wouldn't trust that at all.
Brunhild.
He's about to bet.
No, not Gunhild. It's me. Here is your death.
The king is dead. Long live the king.
Oh, that was a good way to turn this around. Okay.
Yeah, but I still don't trust Eric.
That's interesting. He got close to dying here. Ooh. He's unkillable. Wow.
I crown you king of Kattegat.
He gets it
And
again.
all Norway. May the gods love and keep you.
Every time we can't help but feel happy for him a little bit, you know?
Every single time.
I want to make it known that it is my intention to marry the beautiful and the beloved Gunhild, and to make her my queen.
You didn't know that?
And it is also my intention to marry the woman called Ingrid,
Yeah, he
who
wanted
will
both
also
of
be
them.
my queen.
I can't help but feel a little bit bad for Gunhild. Because
Like, once again,
she's in the same place.
Yep.
No one in this world has ever done for me what you have done for me. I know everything now. I know I was Oleg's puppet, but you are always my friend.
You have to understand that I was your friend because I needed you to help me escape from your uncle.
But still, no one has ever cared for me the way you have cared for me. I think you saw something of yourself in me. I was a cripple too. I was so damaged, I wanted to die. You saved me. You have been everything to me. I was the promise.
Man.
I love you. And I always will.
Aww.
You don't know how much Ivar
Wanted that.
wanted that, yeah.
What you just did for him. And I mean,
How much it means.
he
to
wasn't
Ivar.
and he wasn't pretending. He said, "I did this because I needed to escape." So you're aware of that, right? Mm-hmm. He didn't lie or anything, so that's genuine.
Thunder, but no rain.
He always gets here in the worst time.
Thunder without rain. Ice, but no water. A sterile land. A godless land. Unreal.
Did he just call Greenland a sterile land? A godless land?
We should leave this place. If you can. We are dying.
Shit.
And this is not a place we found by mistake. This is not a place at all. It is a state of the soul. Don't you see, son of Ragnar? Or are you as blind as all the rest?
He's got away with words.
Stay with me. Comfort me.
I wouldn't call that comfort.
No, yeah, me neither. He's scaring the fuck out of me. Like, or someone showed up, something showed up. Oh, the whale, they talked about a whale. Maybe there's a whale.
Maybe, yeah.
I think it is.
Didn't he say that he had a dream that the Lord will be reborn as a whale?
He saw the Lord come to him as a whale, not a man. Which, I mean, coincidence.
But
It's a whale.
what does he say about the fact that the wise one said that this place was a godless place?
Well, we'll talk about this.
The whale is dead.
Yeah, but it's food, it's oil, it's a lot of shit for them.
People, as you can see, the whale has washed up on my property. Look for yourselves, it's true. You don't need the whole animal. Huh? There's enough food and fuel for the entire settlement. I will have to discuss that with my family.
Oh my god, don't be greedy now.
All I'm saying, at the moment, legally, the whale belongs to me. I thought we were all in this together, no? Listen, Nova, you see how it is. The gods, they make their decisions. The gods decide. There has to be some reason the whale beached on my property.
It's called luck.
There's no such thing, as well you know.
I was gonna be fighting again. Jesus fucking Christ.
The
Maybe
circle of hate, vengeance, and greed is once again the wheel of hate, vengeance, and greed is still turning, guys.
every time the fucking seer shows up and says something, it gets confusing and we're not quite sure what he means. I think the comment about this being a godless land, okay, it could be that he warned Uba about this, you know, about how if he stayed here with everyone, it would lead to fighting and you know, betrayal and
Well,
this.
it's already starting because right now they are technically fighting because who's gonna get the whale?
Exactly.
You know?
Because it's basically there's nothing on this land. So as soon as there's one thing that people want, there's going to be fighting because there's nothing else. So it's not like you feel content on your piece of grass. There's not even grass on your piece of earth. If the other guy gets a fucking whale, you're not going to be happy. You know?
I'm gonna change my heart to your for your whale.
I'll give you dirt. I'll give you dirt.
But
But yeah, and I mean, how do you pay? You know, you can't buy a piece of the whale. You know, it's gonna push him to make alliances and you know give promises that you can keep because what can you give? Nothing. So it's gonna lead to fighting, and you add to that the fact that there's already bad blood between most of these guys. You know, they don't trust each other. There's it doesn't take much. Like we saw what happened in Iceland. You know, it's Floki's island of the gods all over again. You know, he thinks it's a new start, but then what it leads to is more fighting and more hatred and stuff. So I don't think they should stay here. Like if Flatnose wants to stay here and keep his well, do that.
You
But
can
then
stay there, yeah.
I would say for the others to try and go further west because we know what's there. Like they don't. That's the thing. They don't. All they have is empty promises. Like they can't be sure they're gonna land exactly where they want to. So they are taking a chance. And every time they face a defeat or an empty land like this, their hope is
their hopes.
yeah, exactly. So and it could be the fact that he spoke about this being a godless land made me think of even if they go west, they are going to face hardships because the land is there are people there. They just don't share the same beliefs. It's a completely different culture. The language is completely different too. I mean, we'll see how they adapt. Like the Vikings are not the ones that forced the natives into what's the word? Changing their religion and changing their ways. Yeah, assimilation and stuff. So maybe it's gonna be peaceful. Maybe it's gonna be great. Maybe they'll find a place and be happy.
That Vikings used to trade stuff on the shore with the natives.
Yeah,
that we know of.
So we'll see how that happens. But for that, he needs to go further west, and I just feel it in my gut. Like we are so close. They will go further west, and they will reach America proper.
You just want them to reach America and say, "I told you so."
Well, I mean, they're pretty fucking close. Like technically, like Greenland is pretty close. Like it's better than nothing. But I'd like to have the whole thing. Like if we're that close to America, to America proper.
You need to turn and left. Yeah.
I want to see my land. I want to see my forests. I want to see home. No. Honestly, it's just because, back when we watched season 1, I got so excited over them going west and finding America.
You thought that right now was maybe sailing towards here.
Yeah, I got laughed at a lot about this. And then for them to finally reach it in the last fucking season, I'm like, yes! But still. So yeah. Like,
never give up on your dreams.
No, never. But yeah, what this year was saying could be about what's happening right now. The fact that it's bare and there's nothing. Uba is doing like Floki used to do. He's basically calling for friendship. He's calling for support and help. But we know because of what happened with Flatnose before that it's wishful thinking. And Flatnose has experience with turning on people and being the worst he could ever be when he's got nothing.
The thing is, even though if you didn't want to make friends and be happy and live peacefully, when you're starting a settlement, everybody needs to help each other's out.
He did. In Iceland, Flanos was helping. He was on Floki's side,
Yeah,
and it's
but-
the other family who wasn't helping. But then we know it's gonna lead to discord eventually. There's no escaping it. That was the whole thing with Floki when he settled in Iceland, you know? And the thing with Flanos is that after everything, after what happened in Iceland, the family here that's not sure about, you know, what they're gonna get, he's just happy to have something, I think. He doesn't have his hopes that high, so he got this, and then he got the well on his land, and he's just, you know, paranoid. He doesn't want anyone to have what he gets because he doesn't, you know, he thinks his luck is about to run out any second. He's guilty of something, and he knows a lot of stuff that he's not saying anyone, and there's a lot of mystery surrounding what happened with Floki and shit. And obviously the guilty people are the ones that are the most paranoid, and they're the ones that get creepy like this. So he's we can't trust him right now. It doesn't matter that Uba, you know, is doing the right thing, you know, calling for support and friendship and stuff. And doesn't matter that Flatnose used to be like that because he helped Floki. Right now he's in a bad spot, and he's prompt to turning on others if they try to steal from him or backstab him in any way possible.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you cannot talk with someone who doesn't want to listen to reason.
Nope.
And right now, that's the case with Flatnose.
And I mean, I wonder if he ever believed in the Golden Land. You know, I think he's just happy to have a place where at least it's Earth. You know, at least. So he's just gonna take what he can and do whatever he wants with it. But it hopefully Uba is more intelligent than that, and he doesn't, you know, forces his stay in Greenland, and he moves on to someplace else, because if he does like Floki did, it's not gonna be better. Like, it destroyed Floki to push for friendship and cooperation, and it never led to any of that. So
No.
anyway.
Okay. I want to talk about Igor and Ivar.
Yeah, me too, very quickly, because
Very
it was a
quickly.
quick...
Very quickly.
It was
It
sweet.
makes me feel happy, a little bit sad though, because it's been how many years like that Ivar wanted someone to
Love him for him.
love him for him or just care about him in a way.
Yeah.
And even though that, yes, he did use Igor for his own achievement and his own escape,
There was a purpose.
in a way, he still cared about the kid, and he was still there, and he still helped him realize that he was being abused and used by Oleg.
I like that Ivar was realistic with the whole thing. He did not, you know, pretend or anything. He said it straight up. I used you because I needed to escape. And then Igor saw past that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's true that even though Ivar pretends that all of this was for his plan, he did show concern and support that he was not he was not forced to show
No.
before.
He was honest with the kid by saying that this is your kingdom. Oleg is using you. He was honest with him.
Yeah, that's
and
part
that's
of
the
the
thing
plan.
that Igor recognized and just
No, but think about it.
Grab on.
That was part of the plan. But going up in his nest thingy and you know, consoling him after Oleg shouted at him, that wasn't part of the plan. That wasn't
No.
necessary. And playing with him, you know, and you know, watching him play with his puppets and stuff, that wasn't part of the thing either. You know, it's the little things he did more than just, you know, telling him the truth about who he was so he could be on his side. It's the little things that we commented on about how maybe he saw him as a son, or here he says that he saw him as himself. Maybe. I think it's very fucking sweet. I love that he got to have this relationship, especially now that he's changed and gone through his old character arc thing. It's really sad though to hear how Igor felt when we met him the first time, because he didn't talk much.
Yeah.
And when he started talking and communicating, he was already friends with Ivar. So he was already past most of this. But then when we met him, we didn't know this kid. We didn't know what this kid thought or what he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear that he was this bad is kind of sad, because he's a kid. No kid should feel like this ever. And then even, you know, when he was with Oleg, we didn't see everything that happened, but for him to admit that he was in such a bad place, it's very sad. So thank you, Ivar, for finally doing something right. That was deserved.
Also-
that was really deserved.
Yeah. Also, Ivar acknowledged the fact that he was in love with Katya, no matter who she was.
Well, maybe that is gonna
He's
work
in
out.
love with her, so I hope that if she does have feelings for him, that she come forward and say that I love you too or something like that.
She seemed unsure, but then I don't know if it's because she doesn't believe that he loves her for her, or if it's because she believes it's not something that can work. Because maybe she has other obligations. Maybe she has feelings for him, but she doesn't think that they can be a thing. That this is not gonna lead to anything. So we'll see.
That'd be a sad thing.
It depends. Like, it depends. We were surprised last episode when we found out that she was on our side the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we're gonna find out something else. Like, we don't really know who she is or what she's supposed to do. So maybe she has obligations.
It is true that technically we only saw her through Ivar's eyes. And
when he thought she was with Oleg, you know.
Yeah.
We'll see what is gonna happen later on. It depends on her response. I love that though he's not asking anything of her. He's just saying that he loves her and then he moved on. So we'll see. He's basically leaving the choice up to her, which is something we saw a lot this episode. Harold did it too, you know, with how he basically, not with Ingrid, but with Gunil at least,
Yeah.
you know, he did not, I liked how he did it. That's how he should have done it from the get-go with everyone. Just saying his piece, you know, I think you're a beautiful woman. I think you're strong. I love you and stuff like that. I want to be with you. It's up to you now. I know she said like she's being forced into this, and technically it's true. Like, it depends on what they want, but no one will willingly throw their life away, you know, to choose to not be a ruler when you have that chance handed to you on a silver platter. Like, it's too easy to be true sometimes, but then like it happens.
The thing is, she could easily said no.
But
to
then what is she gonna do next?
request. But since she wanted to be ruler of Kattegat in the first place, and now that is being rip off of her, and Harald is now the ruler of Kattegat and king of all Norway, that would be really foolish of her to say no to his demands.
In a different way, both girls are being forced to be with Harold. Not because he's forcing them. Well, with Ingrid, it's not that true.
Not forced, but strongly advised to say yes.
Ingrid, yes, because she's scared of him. That's as simple as that. Like, I think she's scared of her life if she's not with someone in power. She's been there before. She was a slave before, and now she's pregnant. If she doesn't marry Harold, she's alone with no one to support her and no one to help. So that's bad. And she doesn't know how he's going to react. He wants her. He said it, and he took her before when she said no. So if she says no again...
And now she might be pregnant with his child.
Yeah, now that he knows, I don't think he's going to just let her go. Because she never said anything to, oh, okay, I'll marry you. And Gunhild neither. And then he proclaimed to everyone that he intended to marry both of them. So they don't really have a choice. They do have a choice, but it's like asking you to choose between death and a lifetime of misery. So if you really want to live, you'll choose a lifetime of misery, but then...
I have a question for you. Do you think that maybe Harold asked both of the girl to marry him because he wanted to have it all? Or he wants to have Gunhild, but he also asked Ingrid to marry him because she might have his hair?
I think it's both.
Both?
I think, you know, if he has a chance to have both... He said he wanted to be like Björn, and Björn had both. He wanted to have Gunhild since he met her.
That we know.
So that we know. That's something he's consistent about, so that's good. So he's, you know, I liked how he asked her like this. I think it was fine. With the other one...
Of course, he respects her.
Yeah, but with the other one, he sees her as a thing that Björn owned, and he had a taste of it, and I think that now that she's pregnant, he wants her even more, you know? Because she could definitely give him an heir right away. So that's pretty bad. That's pretty cool. Although everyone thinks it's Björn's child, so that would be awkward to switch it around and be like, well...
Yeah, but just like with Uba, who married Torvi, he became technically the father of Bjorn's children too, you know?
Well, yes, he took care of them, but Björn was always the dad.
Yeah, but now
For Harold to, like, that would be like saying, oh, I'm raising Bjorn's child, but he'd rather have them think it's his kid, I think. No? Wouldn't you, like, if you were Harold, considering he likes to have it all and stuff, would you really think he'd be okay saying this is Bjorn's kid? Maybe, like, maybe he doesn't want to raise any, suspicions or have people rebel or freak out over this, and he'll leave it at that.
But it's just like it's just like with Lagertha and Rollo and Ragnar.
Well,
like
no, that was between Lagertha and Rollo guessed it. Rollo supposed, and then that was between them. No one else knew.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Kattegat thing, It wasn't a village thing where, depending on who knows what, people would potentially rebel or say, what the hell is going on? Because if they knew that Ingrid was pregnant with Harold's kid when she was technically Bjorn's wife, it's not good.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, we'll see what happens, but I appreciated the way Harold asked Gunhild. Not so much how he asked Ingrid, but then I think that's because of how he sees both of them. He respects one, and the other he sees as a thing he needs to own. So the way he goes about asking them is very different. And like they said, like both of them feel forced because I was saying literally last episode, that the fact that they were women doesn't really change that, they can be something, but I think it still plays with their insecurities because look at Lagertha. She managed to do a lot while being unmarried and alone and still being a woman. But I don't think they believe that they can do that.
If you remember correctly, though, in the earlier season, she had to marry someone to have land.
Yeah, I know, but later
when she killed her husband, she became an earl, but people technically asked her to marry someone else to have a stronghold on her
people
land.
Asked her to marry someone else when she killed her husband?
People rebel against it.
She became queen. After a while, she fought and she managed to become queen, and she had an army at her back. I don't think people rebelled maybe a little bit, but not everyone, and she still managed to end up queen in the end. So she managed to do it. It's not about being a woman or anything. I think these people would value a woman and a man on the same standard. It's just that they don't have as much confidence in their claim as Harold does, because they are known for being Bjorn's wives.
Yeah.
So it's all about the guy that was with them. So we'll see. Gunhild has more chance to maybe do something and be proud of herself because she followed Lagertha, but she was doing this whole speech about how the age of heroes and the golden age of Vikings is over. I think she doesn't trust that she can be one of those heroes and one of those key figures in history. So she doesn't trust herself enough to do something on her own and go against Harold.
And you know what? That's really sad though, because we've seen Gunhild fight.
Yeah.
We've seen her in battle, and she's a strong opponent. She knows what she's doing. She's a fierce Shin maiden.
She was beginning to do that, at first, but then Harold showed up, and Eric took his side in a twist that was still pretty cool, but still. I think, and by the way, we'll talk about him a little bit, but still. She basically started with someone maybe supporting her, and then maybe a chance to do something, and then that was stopped right before she could actually take that claim. So I think her confidence took a hit.
He slashed her confidence just like he slashed that guy's head, you said?
Well, basically. So I think her confidence was slashed, and she doesn't really know what to do. And then Ingrid is saying that as a woman, her only strength is, her sex and her baby and, her wits. So I'm like, in her case, it's not that far-fetched because it's true that that's what she has. Like, she's not a strong fighter. She doesn't have the respect of people. She has nothing to claim, to support a claim. So she sees her only escape at having a very good life to be marrying Harold. Yeah. It's true, though, that, if she doesn't want to marry Harold, it all falls down on, settle somewhere and just be happy with what you have, but that's not what she wants.
She's an ambitious woman.
Just like Eric, which makes me think about why he supported Harold. I think Eric just wants a position somewhere. He wants a position of where he's safe, where he's got power, where he's just okay, where he doesn't have to run around and and fear for his life. He wants safety. I think, you know, when he saved Bjorn, he was saying, you know, oh, I saved you because of who you are and stuff like that. And who you could be to me, because if I save you, your legacy can help. And now I'm wondering if I did the right thing, considering you're not the king, you know? I think he just wants safety. So when the fight for kingship or queenship was between Ingrid and Gunnhild, he made sure that either one of them became queen. Like, no matter who became queen, he was going to be in a position of power. He was going to be by that girl's side. Mm-hmm. And then when Harold crushed that, and it was without, you know, doubt that Harold was going to become king, well, supporting the girls became irrelevant. So he took the position that Harold gave him. He's giving him a pretty good position. So no matter what he wants in the long run, at least for now, he's got a safe position where he's supporting the current king.
But not in the front line, yeah.
Well, he's not king of anything, or you know, he's not in a huge position of power, but it's a position of power better than what he would have if he wasn't with Harold.
He has power, but not the responsibility with it.
And let's not forget that the guy seems to be the only one that knows what Eric did, you know, to be cast out. So he could definitely talk about this and tell people. So I don't think he wants that to happen. Mm-hmm. So he's playing it safe by supporting the guy that offered him a position. We'll see what happens later. Anyway.
Alright, so that
Oleg is so fucking intense, by the way. Just finishing with this. He's intense. But he's a great actor. I like watching him freak out.
Yeah, me too.
That was funny though, like having them escape while he's just being whipped somewhere. I know he wanted it to happen. It's a ceremony and it's a Christian thing, and he's basically taking the place of the Christ, you know, by suffering and not being able to save himself, but then doing it for the sins of everyone else. Like that's a whole thing, but then it's still really funny, and it led to everyone that mattered to him to fuck off because he's too crazy. That's the thing with him, though. I don't even know if he's conscious that what he's doing is what is sending all these people away. He likes to put the blame on the wives that cheats him, but after a while, like, it's like he's saying, you know, all of my wives, all of them betrayed me. Gosh, I do not know how to pick my women. But I'm like, dude, you're the only constant in this shit. You're the only guy who's always there in all the relationships when they betray you. So try to ask yourself, why is that? Maybe you're part of the problem. Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, anyway, we'll move on because I don't think you have much to say about this.
No, I think I'm done for tonight.
Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out if you want. The link is in the description.
And if you don't, you can wait for the next one to be out on YouTube, which will be next week. So you're gonna see you then, guys.
Bye!
Bye-bye.